Hey there guys, how are you? So I asked you guys on Twitter, what bit of movie news did you want me to cover this week? And everyone said Mission Impossible 5, Rogue Nation. And I was like, yeah, you know, I feel like talking about Tom Cruise. I have nothing better to do on my Wednesday afternoon. So let's do it. Let's talk about the new trailer to Mission Impossible 5, Rogue Nation. I don't know why, I just feel like I have to say the title to the movie like that with my wannabe trailer announcer voice. So let's dive into it. One man on a mission. Okay, I'll shut up now. Okay, so when it comes to the Mission Impossible movies, I've never been a diehard fan of the franchise. I like Tom Cruise, but those movies were just a little bit blah to me. And then Mission Impossible 4 Ghost Protocol came out, and you see Tom Cruise climbing the side of a building like Spider-Man. Yeah, Marvel and Disney, if you're listening, make Tom Cruise the next Spider-Man. He already knows how to climb buildings and shit. That's kind of a joke. And I was like, I like what they're doing here. They're kind of rebooting the franchise like they did with Fast and Furious 5. They're making it more fun, more grandiose, and more badass. What's happening? I don't know. Let's just talk about the trailer. Alright, so it opens up with Alec Baldwin giving this narration. By the way, Alec Baldwin's in this movie, and he's giving this narration about how the agency of IMF is dissolving. And by the way, speaking of the agency IMF, I thought that agency was compromised like 2 movies ago. Wasn't that the plot to Mission Impossible 3? I don't know, if I was a spy, it would be the last agency I would want to work for because it just seems like they want to screw you over. And then we have some really cool, intense crotch rocket scenes where Tom Cruise is on a sports bike and there's an explosion behind him, and that's pretty awesome. I like things like that. And just from these little snippets that we see in this trailer, I can already tell that the way the camera works going down in this trailer, it's gonna make you feel like you're right there on the back of the motorcycle with Tom Cruise holding on. And I like things like that. Or I just imagine holding on to Tom Cruise on the back of a motorcycle. And then in the next scene in the trailer, we see Tom Cruise. It looks like some kind of torture scene going down where he's tied up to an old rusty pipe and it looks like he's covered in baby oil. But yeah, besides all of that, look at this move right here that Tom Cruise does. Like, logistically, how did that happen right there? How did it, like, gravity doesn't exist. Once again, Tom Cruise is Spider-Man in these movies. And then a few more seconds go by in the trailer, and finally we get the plot to the movie through narration, and it said that there's a syndicate called a Rogue Nation, so you get the plot to the movie right there. And they say in the trailer that this Rogue Nation does the exact same thing as the agency of MIF. Except I'm willing to assume that they don't do the exact same thing. I'm willing to assume that they do the exact opposite. Yeah, if MIF are the good guys, well, this Rogue Nation are the bad guys. Because you need bad guys in the movie. Then we get a lot of cool action scenes, explosions, car crashes, all the fun stuff that you want to see when you watch a movie as you shove popcorn into your mouth. But the one thing that stood out is this chick right here. Now look at her break this guy's neck with her thighs. Yeah, if I die, that's how I want to die, right there. I'm fine with that. Now let's talk about the big action-packed money shot of the trailer. It's a plane taking off a runway with Tom Cruise hanging on the side of the plane, dangling on for dear life. And you want to know the best thing about this? That's a practical effect. That's not some CG animation. That's not Tom Cruise on some backlot studio with a green screen behind him. He's strapped to the side of this plane as it's actually taking off into the air. And that's the reason I really respect Tom Cruise as an action actor, because he's willing to do his own stunts, and as a viewer, you can buy into that action sequence a little bit more because you know that's the real guy pretty much doing the actual stunt, and you're like, yeah, this is cool. More popcorn in my mouth. Maybe some Sour Patch Kids. Now let's be honest, if you've seen Mission Impossible 4 and you've seen the Dubai Tower scene where he's climbing the side of that building, well, that was the most memorable thing about that entire movie, and that's what made that movie for me. That sequence was just so, it made you feel like you're on the edge of your seat, my hands got sweaty, and I was just like, this is awesome. And that was also practical effects too. So you need something to top that in this new Mission Impossible movie, and this might just be the scene for that. And the last thing I wanted to say about the Mission Impossible 5 trailer is I like the way that they executed and filmed some of the stunts and the way that the movie looks. Here's the best thing about this trailer. You notice that there's a lack of shaky cam. So overall, I'm really excited for this movie. It actually looks better than I expected it to, and I can't wait to check it out this summer. But before I go, I wanted to mention something about Project Greenlight. Now, I know a lot of you, well, if you're here, I'm pretty sure that you like movies, but a lot of you are aspiring filmmakers, you like to make short films. So yeah, this next bit of news pretty much covers something really awesome, and it's something that you guys can participate in, and maybe next year you can even join in. So here, check it out. I was asked by Project Greenlight to nominate a few categories. For HBO's Project Greenlight, which is executive produced by Ben the Batman Affleck, and Matt Damon. And if you don't know what Project Greenlight is, it's an upcoming HBO series where they take an aspiring filmmaker and they give them the opportunity to direct their first ever feature-length film. Now let me tell you about the Greenies, which is Project Greenlight's digital answer to the Oscars, where they take the contestants of Project Greenlight and they reward them. Thousands of aspiring filmmakers apply to the contest. They have a whole bunch of different categories like Best Horror Film, Best Comedy, Best Action, and the list keeps going on. But today, I'm nominating two awesome categories of Best Drama and Most Unique. And the nominees for Best Drama are Samaritan, Under the Gallows, By the Pool, A Room for Aiden, Whiskey Boys, Killjoy. And now the nominees for Most Unique: The Green Ruby Pumpkin, The Sharpest Knife, Zombros, Listen, Lily in the Grinder, Learning the Skin. Alright guys, so the voting for all these movies starts today, March 25th, 10 a.m. Pacific time. The link's down below in the description. Go there, check them out, pick some of your favorite picks, give them likes, and yeah, just support, up and coming aspiring filmmakers. Pick the one that you like most, pick the one that you think deserves to win. And also, if you're subscribed to Project Greenlight's YouTube channel, which is also linked down below, you can go there, like your favorite video for a chance to win some free swag. So yeah guys, links to all that stuff down below. Go there, maybe help support some aspiring filmmakers, pick your favorite short film.